Hey guys, this is Francesca from Under the Covers. Welcome back to our channel, and if this is your first time here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of our videos. So today I'm doing my September wrap up and my October TBR, and I have a confession to make. August was really good in terms of reading for me, but I went on a huge book slump in September. There were actually about 2 weeks that I didn't even read. As it stands right now, I haven't even picked up a book for 2 days. Shocking, and this is not something that usually happens to me. I think that also has something to do with the fact that the books that I was picking up in September weren't really all that good. Some were good, but not amazing, and there were a lot of mediocre books. All that being said, I did manage to read 16 books, so I know that's still quite a lot considering that I really didn't read for about 2 weeks out of the month. So I don't have a lot to talk to you guys about in terms of what I recommend or what stands out from my reading, but I do have a few books that I read in September that I want to talk to you guys about, and the first one is Wonder Woman Warbringer by Leigh Bardugo. I did talk a little bit about that book in my favorite books of the summer, so I will leave a link down below to that video. But basically I really love the concept of all the girl power that was represented in that book and all the diversity that was incorporated into the story. I think Leigh Bardugo did a really good job at giving us a different take on the Wonder Woman story, and I really enjoyed it. The second book that I enjoyed this month is Dear Bridget, I Want You by Penelope Ward and V. Keeland. This was bound to be on my TBR for this month because I really enjoy this author duo. I think they have really great sexy banter, and their books are usually really fun and easy to get into and get through. So I really enjoyed this one. It was really fun and really sexy, a little bit more of a slow burn, and I like the fact that it had a single mother. But I did talk a little bit about this book in my favorite books of summer, so again, you can check all that out on the link down below. So the next book I want to recommend to you guys, it's an older historical romance, and I picked it up because of a roundabout challenge, and that is Scandalous Desires by Elizabeth Hoyt. This is the third book in the Maiden Lane series, and I'm reading that completely out of order because I haven't read this series before, although I have read Elizabeth Hoyt in the past. It's not my favorite Elizabeth Hoyt book, but I really did enjoy it. I think that this is a series that I need to look into more, and it was very different from anything that I usually pick up in historical romance because it was sort of a pirate book, but I enjoyed stepping out of my regular historical romance box, and this was really fun to read. So next up is my favorite book I read in the month of September, and that is Hunting Prince Dracula by Kerri Maniscalco. This is the second book in the Stuck in Jack the Ripper series, and I enjoyed this one more than the first one, and I had already enjoyed that one a lot, so I really recommend this series. I recommend this author, and this was just perfection. I really loved everything about the story, about the characters, and I can't wait to read more in this series. So definitely check these out if you want something a little bit more in the lane of gothic horror. There is a very small thread of romance throughout these books, but it's not at all the major element in the series. And again, you can hear me talk more about this book in my favorite books of summer. So the next book that I want to share with you guys is an October release, so I really think you should put it on your TBRs for the month of October, but I actually managed to read this in September, and that is Without Married by Colleen Hoover. I don't normally read YA contemporary, and when I do read it, I like for it to be more emotional and to have a message and to mean something, and I feel like Colleen Hoover did a really good job with tackling the subject of mental health in this book. She did it in a way that, even though it's still a heavy subject and it's portrayed realistically, I think she did it as light as it can be approached, and I think that it's a book that will be enjoyed by readers both young and adult. And just like with Colleen Hoover's last book, I feel like Without Married was a thought-provoking read, and the one thing for sure that really stands out about this book is Colleen Hoover's writing. Her writing is really good. It's almost addictive, and I really just didn't want to put this book down. I just had to finish it. I had to read all the words. So I really hope that you check out Without Married in October and you give it a shot, even if you don't necessarily read this particular subgenre. So now on to my TBR for the month of October. I am currently reading The Ghost Writer by Alessandra Torre, and I'm not sure that I'll finish that before the end of September, so I'm considering this part of my TBR for October. This book comes out October 2nd. The Ghostwriter is not marketed as a romance, and I think that Alessandra Torre really excels at writing darkly seductive plots without them being necessarily a romance. I have read her books writing as A.R. Torre, and I think that those are really good. So I'm hoping to see some of those elements in The Ghostwriter, and just follow the link below so that you can read the blurb for the book. I think that it's really interesting and really captivating, so I really can't wait to dig into more into this read. Halfway through the month, we have the release of Bountiful by Serena Bowen. This is the 4th book in the True North series, and I love this series. It's contemporary romance with a farm type setting, and I think that she's done a really good job at making all the books in this series really emotional, while at the same time kind of simple stories. I loved all the characters, and this one in particular, we've met the heroine throughout the series, and I'm really excited to finally get an HEA for her and to see more from the previous characters in the series that I've enjoyed as well. I think so far the first hero is still one of my favorites in the series, so we'll see if this one can top it. And at the end of the month, we have Can't Let Go by Gina Showalter. This is the 5th book in the original Heartbreaker series, and I'm really excited to read this one because it's the couple that were sort of left off at the end of the previous book that we know something's going to happen, and I can't wait to see all the banter and all the chemistry and the sparks flying in this one. So I highly suggest you check out this series as well if you like small town romances and if you like a lot of sexy banter in your books. And that's really all I have for you guys this month. I didn't really read too many good books to recommend, and I don't have too many on my TBR in October that I'm so excited about, so hopefully one of those will surprise me, or maybe I'll pick up something totally random that I wasn't even planning on reading. Let me know in the comments down below which books you guys read this month that you really recommend and you enjoyed. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and follow us on all our social media to stay up to date with what we're reading and what we're posting on the blog, as well as giveaways. All the links are down below. Have a good month, guys, and we'll see you again in the next video. Bye bye.